Okay, so we've now completed this facility with the second of the torches. And so, as you can see there, it's no longer going. And this was where we had the minefield previously, although we did deactivate them, so in theory we could just run straight up to this thing. And do that. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried for a second. I was like, I don't know, is this actually gonna blow up in my face, even though it's not supposed to? Wouldn't have ruled it out entirely, but okay, we also picked up Medical Exoskeleton 10 is certainly not bad. We're a big fan of that. And Frictionless Materials 10, also a big fan of that. Even Sledgehammer rounds, all good stuff there. So I like that a lot. Then let's just verify as to where exactly we parked the Mako in the opposite direction from where we are currently standing. In fact, why don't we actually mark it so that we can walk specifically where we're trying to go. So yeah, we have one more of the torches to turn off, I believe, right? It's we're at 2 out of 3, if I'm not mistaken. And we do still have a few of those engineers that we found previously, and in theory, we want to try to track down 1 or 2 more. So that's also on the list. And in fact, we may even try to get to those engineers before we try to track down this last of the torches. But let's head back to the Mako now. And tell you what. One thing that we may actually want to do here is, at any point in time during this mission, at least when you're outside, I don't think you can do this when you're in one of the buildings, but you can in fact return to the Normandy. Crazy as that sounds, you would think that, well, there's this whole time-sensitive thing happening on this asteroid that's, you know, about to come crashing into a colony on that planet. But, no, as it turns out, you can leave, walk around the Normandy, and come back on a later occasion. In fact, you might be able to leave and go to an entirely different planet or the Citadel and spend a bunch of time doing other things and then come back, because I don't actually think there's anything time-sensitive about this, which is, kind of crazy. But the reason why I recommend that we do that is because what this does is this allows us to switch our team. So we had, I believe it was Liara and Garrus in there. So we'll just go straight on back here because I don't really think we need to do anything else in between. Although if you really needed to, say, go to the Citadel to sell some stuff or buy some stuff, or you really wanted to do some other missions, maybe to level up, then you could do that. But the primary reason why I'm doing this is so that we can go back to this mission and, of course, complete it, but switch around our team, because I believe we had Liara and we had Garrus. And one thing that I may not have noted at the beginning of this mission is that at the end, our reward is based on, or at least can be based on, the teammates that we bring with us. So, for that reason, if there is someone in particular that you've been having trouble getting some good gear for, or you really want to prioritize them over others, then it is probably worth including them in your Bring Down the Sky playthrough, because at least if you have them in your party at the end, then you may be able to get a very nice upgrade for them, especially if, like in our case, you've waited until more or less the end of your playthrough. I mean, this is basically as late in the game as you can possibly do this mission. But yeah, especially if you wait until the very end of the game to do this, then you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to get a best in slot type of gear of some variety. It's just a matter of, you know, who are you taking, because that is going to influence what your options are at the end. So for that reason, I was thinking that I'm pretty sure we have the best possible gear for Garrus, at least from an armor standpoint, whereas for Tali, that was something we were saying we were having a lot of trouble with. I think she has a level 10 piece of armor, but it's pretty low rarity, so it's quite bad compared to what she could theoretically have. So I was thinking that that's possibly the primary reason why I was thinking we might want to switch things around a little bit, was to make sure we could get Tali in there. And we might still keep Liara, of course. From an armor standpoint, she uses human armor, so I'm pretty sure we have plenty of the Colossus, or at least 2 Colossus 10 light armors So we have one for ourselves and one for Liara. So we're doing fine in that sense, and then from a Biotic Amp standpoint, I'm actually not sure if we can get Biotic Amps at the end of this mission, but we also have had quite a bit of luck with that. So, I mean, we may not need her for that reason, in which case you could say, well, would you like Rex or Garrus? Because Liara uses human armor, Ashley uses human armor, and I think for those two, we already have the best possible armor for them. But, I think we did also recently get the best possible armor for Garrus. It might have been level 9, but I thought we got level 10 version as well. Don't recall if that's the case with Rex. So I suppose we could use Rex just in case. Although he may already be fine from that standpoint, but just to play it safe, I think perhaps these are the two characters who we could use the most improvements with on their gear, certainly at least in the case of Tally. So let's jump in with them in that case. And, I mean, in theory, if you really wanted to, if you change your mind, you could go back to the Normandy and switch your team again. So that is an option. And so when we hop down here, what you'll notice is that we will, I believe, land in the place where we initially landed. So we were previously, before we headed back to the Normandy, I think we were like right there, I want to say, or I mean, we could probably see. Do we have Service Station 1, Fusion Torch, main facility, Service Station 2? Oh no, was it this? Was it the survey stations where we had the torches? I don't were those places where we had the engineers. They might have been places where we had the engineers. But either way, we're back down here at the beginning. So, like, you know, in some ways it could be helpful if you, for some reason, need to head back over in this direction. So, but just looking at our squad here, okay, we actually have a level. We can spend a point here for Rex. And what were we saying? I think we must have been trying to go for combat armor based on how we have an additional points here. Even though we did not make it all the way up to Master Shield Boost. Alternatively, it would be getting additional round... well, I mean, barrier, we were doing something similar, right? Didn't get all the way down here to unlock, or try to unlock stasis. Let's see. We're level 56 now, and we spend this point. Let's just theoretically say we get up to level 60, which is the cap, and I'm not sure we will get there by the end of the playthrough, but theoretically speaking, then that would mean 57, 58, 59, 60. We could do just enough to unlock Advanced Barrier. We would not be able to spend any points in stasis. Not necessarily sure that we want to, because we're doing a pretty good job with that with Shepard. So, in that case, yeah, I think we do go with combat armor. It means we'll have potentially a few extra points at the end, in which case we'll throw, you know, one or two more into barrier. Not the end of the world. Just be a little bit stronger in that case. Everyone else is fully allocated. And then, let's just double check the armor for Rex. I mean, I can tell you visually, I already know that that is definitely not the best possible armor for him, because Colossus is black and red, and that is not black and red. It is also level 8. I mean, Predator H is, that is one of the ones that is sort of tied for Colossus as the best possible stuff. Predator is the more shield and tech/biotic heavy armor, whereas Colossus is more pure damage protection, so to a certain extent, it's a matter of preference. And actually, this is interesting. This is a medium version of this same armor, whereas he's currently wearing heavy. So you see the damage protection goes down, largely for that reason. But the shields go up, in large part because it's 2 levels higher. And the tech/biotic protection also goes up. So that's kind of a tough one. I mean, the shields, that's not a huge difference. Because, of course, it's what, like 20? Actually, less than that, 18 shields. Which, that's like less than the equivalent of 1 skill point. Whereas the tech/biotic protection, that can be hard to come by. So, sure, I guess we go for it. I want to see if we happen to have... Yeah, that's the one that we just switched out of. So yeah, Rex definitely could use an armor upgrade. And then Tally, this is what I was talking about. She's level 10 armor, but just look at the numbers here, comparatively speaking. 20 damage protection, 175 shields, 38 tech/biotic protection. It's not horrendous, but the other stuff The other stuff is. So, when it comes to at least armor, I would think we'd probably want to prioritize Tally, but there are other potential options as well. But we'll get to that. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. And so one thing I wanted to double check here was when we're looking at our assignments, we do have one missing engineer remaining. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, down the body of Himes. But now I will admit that after having left and rejoined the planet, or re-landed on the planet, you know what I mean, now just a little bit disoriented as to where we have and have not been. I know, obviously we went here. I know we definitely went down there. I think we've been over in this area, although I'm just surprised that we don't have any markers over there, I guess, is my primary thing. So I would have thought there'd be a clearer sign, clearer indication that, yeah, we've found something here of note. But I think we're going for this fusion torch here, and perhaps even before we do that, we might want to go for the Survey Station 2 up here, which I think is where we're going to find that last engineer. And what's up, Thomas? How's it going? Let's see. We got a big wall in front of us. But yeah, so we're doing Bring Down the Sky. We've done roughly half of it, I would say, at this point. So we're hopefully finishing it up in the relatively near future. And then we save this one for just about as late as you could possibly do it. So once we're done with this, there is not much left besides just finishing the main quest. So let's see, we'd like to try to either get up this or around this. Okay, yeah, so that's the minefield. You can see the markers there. So that's where we were when we left. Just over in that area over there. So that's, I think, at least a good thing to sort of be able to know that, okay, if we take a quick look at our map here, yeah, that's the area where we were, and definitely going much further east than I wanted to go, but we just ran into this wall here where I was thinking, I mean, how do we actually get over this thing? Hopefully, this looks like it might be a little bit easier here. That's one of the turrets that we had taken down previously. Yeah, this looks like it's going to open up a fair bit more, so this should help. Yeah, doing all right. I'm excited. We're getting pretty close to the end of the game here. So, got some big stuff remaining. Let's see. So, oh, that's our torch. But I think, and we're definitely going to run into more of those turrets like we did for all the other torches, I would think. But I'm deliberately going to overshoot it a bit. Try to make it to our marker where we think we're going to find that last engineer. So I'd like to make sure we... Well, I mean, pretty sure it doesn't matter technically what order you do them in. But I think it's just convenient to get all that stuff out of the way, and then once we've done that, we can focus 100% on taking down the torches. Should be, yep, right around here. We definitely have not been here yet, so this looks promising. Let's see. Oh, we have an update. And based on the body we see in front of us, I don't think it's a good one. It looks like he died from a single shot through his helmet, likely from a sniper. Whoever killed him didn't even bother to search his body. There's still equipment in his service pack. And, okay, it's actually a level 10 Omni tool. Take a look at that. That could potentially be quite good. We've had a fair bit of luck recently with, actually a ton of luck recently, with getting some Biotic Amp upgrades. We've gotten at least one of the perfect Biotic Amps, the one that we have equipped right now, highest rarity and level 10. And then we have highest rarity but level 7 for Rex, and then I think we have a highest rarity level 10 for Liara. So we're doing pretty well from that standpoint. Could, of course, be a little bit better, at least for Rex, but not bad. Let's take a look, though, at the Biotic Amps. Like, we would very much like for Tally, our tech specialist, to have the best possible of the Omni tools. We look at Polaris, and it is, well, I mean, it's objectively better than what she has right now. A little bit better from a tech cooldown standpoint. I think that's probably the most important. In fact, I would argue that's far and away the most important. It's a little bit better from a shield standpoint, and the med recharge bonus I don't think it's going to be a big factor at all, but I think we give that to her, and then let's just double check how we're doing. I think it's pretty similar in our case. I mean, we could go with this Logic Arrest. We would improve med recharge, we would improve our shields a bit, but again, I don't know. It might actually not be worth doing that, because I think tech cooldown is probably that much more important. But a good pickup, nonetheless. It's just, well, Engineer has certainly seen better days. And in theory, it looked like we had 2 markers down here. One perhaps for the body, and another a little bit further down this way, where I'm guessing we might find a station, or outpost, or wherever that they were doing their work. Right over here. Let's see if we can find anything here. I don't think we can interact with any of that stuff. So let's head in. And woo, this is not the easiest crate in the world to break through. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second here. There we go. Okay. Let's see. We've got a decent shotgun. And quite a good assault rifle as well, although, that being said, at this point our weapons are almost insignificant, the ones that we pick up, because we have now been able to purchase several rounds of the Spectre gear, level 10 Spectre gear at that. Let's see. So here's our Survey Station 2 final entry, logged by Chief Surveyor R. Montoya. Communications are down, and there are non-corporate dropships landing near the main facility. There were flashes of light over the horizon. I can't be certain, but I'd guess it's heavy arms fire. As per emergency protocol, I'm arming the defense drones. Not waiting for my pickup. I'm going to investigate. Well, defense drones, you say, have been armed. And they are theoretically attacking us. There we go. Okay. So we brought Tally with us, and one thing that I'd like to make a point of doing more of is using her ability to hack. Because it is, in theory, one of, if not her strongest abilities. Excuse me. Supposed to be fighting them. And it does appear as though you're fighting us. Oh, that was damping, sorry. Hacking. That's actually the other one, though. We need to use as well. Tally, did you even use that at all? You just completely ignore me? I mean, like, yes, we can fairly easily take these things out, but I would also kind of like to take this opportunity to use the abilities that we not use very often, because we have not yet unlocked the achievements for using those abilities. And there's definitely something to be said for doing that. It's hiding behind the makeup. It's learned. It's smart. Come on, any second now. As long as you just don't kill it here. Right now it's hacked. Right now, sure, we'll get this one out. It actually stop. That. There we go. Alright, now this one. Damp you again for good measure. So yeah, damping and AI hacking, along with Metagel. Those are the no footprints. Oh well, pretty sure. I think footprints of the dust lead off to the east. That's where we would have found, or did find, the researcher, the engineer. That was the log that they left, and they activated the defense drones because they were worried that there was some kind of firefight breaking out, except those defense drones just attacked us instead. But yeah, damping, AI hacking, and Metagel are the 3 things that we want to try to deliberately do more of to try to actually unlock the achievements for them before Mass Effect 1 is over. And we're getting close to the end of the game. So for that reason, I think it is worth making that effort. Oh, and Thomas, thanks for the follow. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Okay, so that, I believe, That's everything in this section, although we actually picked up some items from fighting those guys as well. Okay, Scram Rail 10. That's another good weapon upgrade. We've been struggling a little bit to pick up good weapon upgrades because we kept on getting the ones that give us weapon stability improvements, and there's only so much weapon stability that you need. At a certain point, you're like, can you please give me something that increases damage? I mean, at the highest levels, they do give a little bit of damage, but that was just not the most inspiring of things for us to pick up. So let's take another look at our map here, because I think what we'll find now... So we've done everything here, and I don't think we've technically explored in this northeasternmost corner, although we may do that when we check out the main facility, but next on our list at this point, I think, is to head over to this last fusion torch, because if we look at our journal, we've now found the missing engineers. We, of course, already did the blasting caps, but, okay. Now, let's save real quick, because we are about to head in to an area where I'm expecting for us to find more of those turrets that are currently shielded, but will get unshielded when we approach, and so we're going to have to find a good angle of approach to take them on, and I'm kind of liking this angle, to tell you the truth, because there's this one here, there's one a little bit further back there that I think probably will still start shooting at us as soon as this one opens up as well. Looks like there's going to be one a little bit to the right there. Yeah, that actually might be the closest. I was hoping initially that this little mountainy hillside would block us, which, okay, we may be able to do, based on what we're seeing here. Oh, there's another one over to the left that I did not notice. Hold on. I think I missed. That might have hit us. There we go. Okay, one down. You're next, I think. Yeah, we do have several that are currently shooting at us. There we go. Okay, so that's two down. So who can actually see us at this stage? There's one way back here. That one of the ones that's actually able to hit us? I don't even know if we can hit from this range. We'll try. Alright, there we go. We got it. Okay. It worked. So now it looks like there's still 3 remaining. We know there's one off to the right here that I think is quite close to us. Yeah. My guess is this may have been one of the ones that were shooting at us before. There we go. Now, I think just 2 left, and at this point, I think it's relatively safe for us to just go straight on in here. That's not too much of a problem, even if there are 2 remaining. Okay, that's... are we gonna avoid this one? Oh, you're not dead yet? I really thought we got you. There we go. Okay, and excuse me. Excuse me? Was this one shooting at us while it was shielded? That is against the rules? That is against the Geneva Convention, or at least the Mass Effect equivalent of the Geneva Convention? There we go. Yeah, we have to get surprisingly close to this one. Okay, so that appears to be all of them. Should make this a fair bit easier here.
I'm on my way.
Well, now we just pop right on in. Okay, and as we can see here, it does look like we've got company. Take a quick look around, see if there's anything in this initial room here. Doesn't look like it. There's definitely some friends in there, though. So we've seen generally Batarians, and some Vorcha as well. Imagine it'll be more of the same here. Batarian troopers, okay. Do you have anything? Yep, that's a Varen, okay. So that went down very quickly. So of course, after switching around our teams here. Alright, here comes the Varen, apparently. After switching around our team a bit here, we have a little bit less crowd control because we got rid of Liara. Waiting for the Varen to come charging at us. Okay, here comes one of them. Down it goes. So we have a little less crowd control, but we did, of course, add Tally, and in doing so, we gained some tech ability. So we've got this guy right here. And like I was saying, we actually do kind of want to make a point of using our metagels more. So I would not be totally against throwing people out here a little bit recklessly if it means that we have to heal up a little bit. That's not a bad thing. In fact, potentially that's a good thing. Let's send our friends a little bit here. Whoa! What was that? Oh, that's Baron. That's another Baron. Baron are going down very quickly. I think I just like shot it twice and then it died. So that's seemingly not much of a threat. Alright, friends. What do we have left? A shock trooper? Thinking shock trooper usually means they have a missile launcher or something along those lines. Yep! That is correct. So why don't we do some things to mess with this guy here? Most importantly, probably sabotage his weapons. And the hacking does not work on them, unfortunately. But other than that, we'll stick ya. Away you go. There's another shock trooper, in fact. Is that the same one? No, I think there's still one back there. So like I said, in some ways, I would like to have us actually take some damage here beyond just our shields, so that way we can actually use some meta-gels. I think that would be beneficial. So we have a long ways to go, I think, before we get that achievement. I think it's 50. I think it's 50 meta-gels you need to use, and I mean, besides that one point in which we made a point of using like 10 meta-gels on Caden, where we just set him to enemies on Vermeer, we have used like maybe 3 meta-gels beyond that. So we are probably not close, is the thing. And there are only so many places where you can actually restock your meta-gel. And obviously, once you start getting towards the end of the game, only so many missions remaining. So it's going to be quite tough at this stage, I would think, to actually get that meta-gel achievement. Let's see. Good shotgun. Other stuff is not bad either, but again, when it comes to weapons, at this point, there's not too much that we need, because for the most part, our new Spectre level 10 gear is going to be better than any other weapon that we can pick up. It's just, you know, if we don't have quite enough of the level 10 Spectre gear of any certain category, then you might need one backup of something. Alright, but let's head on up here. I think we've done everything downstairs. But no worries, Thomas. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, and we're on the second highest difficulty, I think. It's what is it? Veteran? Oh no, actually, oh, really? I thought it was the second highest. Okay. Apparently it is the third highest. Let's see. Let's break through here. And to tell you the truth, the thought has occurred to me that we could potentially push the difficulty up a little bit higher here. I mean, perhaps a little late in the process to be doing that, yes. But, I mean, as you just saw there, that was a room full of a bunch of enemies, and they were not terribly threatening. As I was saying before, I think we were two-shotting those Varen, which is a little underwhelming. And granted, that is with Shepard, who at this point is using not even the level 10 Spectre pistol. So the damage is not even as high as it could theoretically get. And that was with tungsten rounds as well, not even shredder rounds. So, you know, we throw those on and suddenly we have significantly more damage than what we were just seeing. Probably on the order of 50, because we got 40% more damage, right? 40% from the ammo, and then, yeah, 40% more from the ammo, at least against organic enemies, like the Varen. And then we also improved the pistol itself. Alright, but here is the torch signal. Just verify if there's anything else in here. I think we've gotten everything. Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, let's do it. Okay, we've done it. In theory, that should have been the last of them. So let's head on out. And in the past, I think we got some either messages or special greetings whenever we finish the torches, we'll see if anything happens here.
Hold it right there. This doesn't have to end in bloodshed.
Oh! And, yes, that does appear to be the case. So we see Karn, who I believe we heard previously is the second in command of this operation. So, this guy potentially means business. He says it may not need to end in bloodshed, but let's try this out.
Don't come any closer. We can do this the hard way, or we can end this peacefully.
See, peace doesn't really seem to be in your vocabulary. And actually, one thing I should note here is that, when you are approaching Karn, as we just did there, you'll see that we had them show up on at the top of our screen with a health bar and all that. You can theoretically shoot at them immediately, and it will just break out immediately into a fight, and you'll never have this conversation. But, let's see if we can talk this one out. So, peacefully, you say?
I didn't think you Batarians knew the meaning of the word.
Exactly.
Look, I'm just doing my job here. Hijacking this rock wasn't my idea. I signed on to make a little profit. A quick slave grab, nothing more.
Well, this seems to have gone much, much farther than that, and we can just say, enough talk, let's attack.
This isn't just a slave grab anymore. Millions of people are gonna die.
Don't you think I know that? I'm just following orders here. If it were up to me, we'd have already left.
Alright. This is interesting. I mean, he claims that he does not seem to approve of what this mission has become. But, you know, if you're the second in command, then you could make the case that this guy may not have enough authority to just call the entire thing off, but surely could get the ball rolling in that direction.
Well, it's not too late. You can still leave.
I don't think so. Bollock would skin me alive and sell my hide out of spite. Crazy bastard. This whole mission's gone to hell and I'm gonna pay for it.
So, yeah, it seems like anything on the right side here is just going to immediately result in us fighting him. But let's see if we can get any more information out of this guy.
So why do you listen to him?
Good question. I had a bad feeling about this from the moment we landed. Now Bollock wants you dead. And what Bollock wants, Bollock gets. I can't change that.
Okay, so this is interesting. So at this point, we can either choose to use a charm, or if we had more intimidate, we could intimidate him into, seems to be, basically ignoring the orders of his, senior officer, or whatever the technical relationship between these two is. But his boss, we can get him to, it would seem to be, ignore his boss, or forget his boss, if we go the charm route here, or we can just go with the simple, straightforward, attack him option. And so, one thing I would note here is that, of course, you know, from a role-playing standpoint, in all likelihood, one of these things is probably much more consistent with the type of playthrough you're trying to do than the other. However, I will note, you do get a lot of experience if you attack him. So, if that is something that is of particular concern to you, then that is a pretty nice way to get a large chunk of experience here. But, I suppose we're doing well enough from that standpoint that we don't need the experience. There's still some question as to whether we're actually going to hit the level cap of 60 by the time we reach the end of the playthrough. I'm thinking we're not going to. Just looking at where the numbers stand right now, I think we're level 57 or something like that, and getting close to the end of the game at this point, and not to mention that because the amount of experience that it takes to level up, once you start getting to 58, 59, and certainly once you're trying to get to level 60, it is far more than the previous level. Every time you start leveling up, it becomes exponentially more difficult. So for that reason, I'm thinking we probably are not going to reach level 60. I mean, maybe if we go absolutely all out, we might be able to make it happen, but even then, I think it's probably unlikely. So for that reason, I'd say let's not succumb to the temptation to just maximize our experience on this occasion, and instead, let's go with what seems to be more consistent with the type of Shepard we are trying to be here, and say, you know, violence is, on this occasion, maybe not always the answer.
Do you always want to be second in command? Get me out of here and I'll take care of Balak. Then you can start giving the orders.
Huh. An interesting proposal. It certainly has benefits over the current situation. Shut it down. This is Balak's problem now. I hope you're as quick with a gun as you are with your promises, for both our sakes.
Even quicker.
Balak will get what's coming to him, and so will you if I ever catch you in human territory again. Are we clear?
Perfectly. Balak's holed up in the main facility. You'll need this to get in. Don't underestimate him. He's a mean bastard. Let's go. We're getting off this rock.
Alright. So we get some Paragon points for going that route. Of course, I imagine if we had gone a more violent route, then we probably would have gotten Renegade points. Like I said, if you do choose to go the fighting route, then you get a large chunk of experience, whereas I don't think we got any there, or if we did, it was not very sizable. But what we did get is a pass. We now have the key pass to the main facility. Head there to confront Balak. Okay. So, just do a quick double check here. I think we got everything in that room, and make sure we didn't miss anything out here loot-wise. Don't think we did. No, I'm not sure we really checked back in this corner. Doesn't look like there's anything, though. But the way that Rex runs, I just realized it for some reason. It's rather... just looks like a waddle. It's rather awkward. I don't know why, this is only just now occurring to me. Maybe, you know, it's so often that we're leading the charge that we don't really see the full running animations. This looks like he's struggling a little bit to keep up, you know? Looks like he's at the very end of the 1 mile jog, the 1 mile test that he has to do at the end of physical education class that he did not voluntarily do. He's just doing it because he has to. He's like, ugh. Just get this over with already. Okay, so with that, we've now turned off all of the torches onto this place, or at least there may be one more at the main facility. But the specific torch areas are now shut down, and I think that means we've got ourselves a date with Balak here. Let's not be late. Let's mark our map, and in theory, he's not that far away. That's the main facility. There was some question I was asking before as to whether we wanted to head over to this more northeastern corner, just make sure there isn't anything else unmarked on our map that might be interesting for us to check out there. That might be worth doing. So I think we take a slight detour here just to make sure we have time to do that. Because I think for the most part, the biggest things that we've seen here were the, or at least outside of, obviously, the torch facilities, were the engineer stations. And that looks like the main facility we're seeing on the edge of our map there. Yeah. So that's, of course, a place where we will end up going eventually, and probably shouldn't come as much as a surprise that we're seeing some big enemy signs there, likely more turrets, and perhaps more than we saw from any of the other stations. Okay, yeah, look at this. We've got a question mark. So there does seem to be something over here. Let's investigate. Oh. What is this? It might be kind of tough to get back up here, but going down is not a problem. Well, got some fuel tanks, which will go boom if anyone or anything were to shoot them. So let's just keep a close eye on those and make sure they do not blow up on us. Unless we want to use metagels, in which case, definitely plenty of stuff to heal off there. Not gonna lie, I heard the door opening and closing there and thought it was someone attacking us, but okay, we've got some station logs. Let's see. The computer lists a complete cargo manifest of the containers outside. It is mostly uninteresting, excavation equipment and parts of prefabricated work tracks. A footnote catches your eye. Explosives moved to grid reference 32416 for safety. Okay, and so that may have updated our map in that case. We do have a Metagel station out here. We need more of that. We can grab it. Let's take a look at our map. So that is the explosive cache over here. Not far away. That we learned of by checking out that code there.